Hi, this is Yoga with Domini and I'm Domini. This is a little short flow for basically yoga for strong legs. So we'll do a quick little warm up and then I will show you some poses that I go to for strengthening my legs. Now I'm not going to be in the pose very long, this isn't a very long video, so if you want to pause any poses and stay in them a bit longer, that's absolutely fine. You can write this down and you can go to it whenever you need to, so that's fine. We'll start in a low lunge. So I'm just going to bring my right leg to the top of the mat in between my hands and just start in a low lunge, and I'm just going to pulse a little bit just to warm up a little bit more. And then take it back to half splits and just go between the two just for a couple. I'm breathing in as I come into low lunge and then out as I go into half splits. And then switch. Just pulse in here for a little bit. And then splits, half splits, breathing out. Breathe in, low lunge. Breathe out, half splits, and just do a few of those. And then back to tabletop. I'm just going to bring the right leg back up to the top and I'm going to go into a high lunge. I'm just going to pulse here just a little bit just to warm up. And then switch. Okay, so some of the poses that are good for strong legs would be the warrior poses. So warrior one. Keeping that front leg bent, back leg straight. Both toes are pointing forward, but this one's off at a slight angle. Try and keep your hips as squared to the front as you can, but it doesn't matter if there's if you've got a slight angle there. You might need to, if it starts to feel dodgy in your knee. You might feel better having a bit more of a staggered hip stance rather than trying to push it all forward. Arms above your head, shoulders away from your ears. But you can always have your arms wherever feels comfortable for you. You can hold onto a chair or a side cabinet or a wall, if that helps. Then there's warrior two. So now we are staggering the hips, bringing them to the side, keeping that knee where it is. This one, legs still straight, but the toes are pointing directly over towards, for me, would be the right. They're pointing forward. Bending into that front leg. You want to try and have your knee over your ankle if you can, so you know that you're getting into that sort of, see again, you're seeing all my other videos. My brain's gone to pot because of the underactive thyroid and perimenopause. The words just escape me sometimes, and they're simple words that I use all the time. Honestly, it's ridiculous. But that bend into that leg, you want to make sure you've got a nice bend in that leg. Arms can be out, or again, if you're not worried about the arms and you're just focusing on the legs, they can be on your hips if you need. Just make sure you've got a straight body so you're not leaning into this, you're keeping upright. Extended side angle is another one. So you're basically keeping the same stance. You can move this back leg back a little bit if that helps. You can lean your forearm on this thigh and then bring your hand up and over, or just keep it there if you've got tight shoulders. You can always bring it down to the floor if you can do that, or get a block and bring the floor up to you. And then we've got triangle, so you're straightening this front leg and you're using a lot of core here as well, because you're not leaning on this front leg. If you do need to lean, again, just get a block and put your hand on the block and do it like that. But if you're fine, you can always I just place my hand next to my leg there and do it like that. You can lean on this leg as long as you're leaning low down on your shin. Don't lean on the knee. And then goddess pose is another good one. So you might want to bring your feet in just a little bit more. Toes pointed out at diagonal, knees are going in the same direction as the toes. Tuck your tailbone under, tighten that core, breathe in and breathe out, and come down into that nice wide-legged squat. Hands can be wherever you want them to be. Wherever, it's entirely up to you. And we'll just do that on the other side, so warrior one. Warrior two. Extended side angle. Triangle. Try and keep a little micro bend in this knee as well, don't just like completely straighten the leg. And then goddess. And that's a nice little mini flow you can do for your legs if you're short on time. Or make it a little bit longer, like I said, by pausing the video. We're just going to do a little cool down. So I'm just going to do a seated forward fold. So I'm breathing in, arms up, nice posture. So make sure you're not sort of rolled back like this. Nice posture. So from the hips. If you need to bend your legs for that, that's fine. If you need to put something underneath your legs, that's fine. You can flex the feet or keep them floppy. Breathing in. And then hinge from the hips, and you can always bend that back because we're cooling down, so we're not trying to work anything too much, which is why you can keep the feet floppy if you want. You don't need to keep them flexed. And then just roll over. You'll find sometimes on some days you can get into some poses really nicely and you're really flexible, and then other days it's just not happening. So don't push yourself. We're just going to do a butterfly pose. So breathing in, hinge at the hips and fold forward. Excuse the noisy neighbours. And then I'm just going to lay on my back, knees to chest, and just hug my knees in, and maybe do a little bit of rocking or some knee circles just to massage that lower back. And you're done. Rock up. So I hope you enjoyed that one. Very, very short. Like I said, you can pause it and you can stay in the poses a little bit longer. You can write them down. You can go through the sequence at your own pace whenever you need to. It's just basically me telling you which poses I feel are good for leg strength. The ones that some of the ones I generally tend to go to. Obviously there's so many poses you can use for different things, but this is just a few of the ones that I like to do. Hopefully you found this interesting and it helped you in some way. If it did, can you please leave a comment below? Just let me know what you thought. Let me know if you want to see more of these little mini videos where I just explain what poses are good for what, or like for what area of your body, or if there's any poses you want more explanation on, what they do for you, or if you've got any issues with you, like I've got the underactive thyroid, so if you'd like to know what poses help any issues that you've got. Obviously I'm not a doctor, I can't tell you what's going to cure you or prescribe anything or anything like that. All I can do is just give you any knowledge that I have on yoga, fitness and Pilates that can perhaps sort of help you with any issues you may have. So if you want to know any of that stuff, just leave me a comment, let me know, like and subscribe, and you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. And me and Binks will see you in the next one. Take care.